Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio. This is episode 20. It is February in 2020. It's 20 for 2020. It is the future, yes. And I'm Rob.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Chopper.
Oh, you didn't do the magic words that cut you out of the call this time. That's good. Yes, this is the Jumpship. We're introing the show right now, if you cannot tell. We have an exciting show. Hopefully you people have done stuff.
I hope everyone is having a great new year.
Yes.
We're
Welcome to the future.
We're a month in now. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I went on vacation. That was nice. So.
Oh, nice.
I did not.
So now I'm back in the cold, so I'm depressed. So.
That's right. You went to like Bartles and James or something like that.
I went to Tobago, and it was great. And I watched a lot of shows there, so I have a lot to talk about.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
Okay, we'll get right into the Dropship, and we'll be back after this.
Dropship landing.
Mobile Armor Radio.
Are you done?
This episode is sponsored by Mobile Armor Radio. Listen to Mobile Armor Radio on Apple iTunes.
Dead Zone the podcast recommends Mobile Armor Radio.
iTunes is dead.
Get your MechFil on.
Did I fall asleep? Why are we doing? Why are we doing bumpers here, people?
Oh, I thought we were doing a commercial between segments.
Oh.
So I was doing a commercial.
Countercharge.
Tech-Glue for all your PVC glue needs. Tech-Glue by Aline sticks to anything except for plastic.
Are we done?
Yes.
And we're in the Dropship. These guys have been messing around for the whole time. We had that little interlude. This is a real time.
There was going to be some great commercials, but
I edited them out.
But the censor board here at Mobile Armor Radio is very strict.
That's right.
And kind of a dick.
I am ComStar. So, what we're working on. It's Dropship. Anybody working on anything?
Yes.
Yay!
Strangely enough, yes.
Yay! It's a new year, people. Yes.
I promised that I would actually get some work done, and I did.
Okay, Pat, you go first then. What have you done?
It's not a lot.
That's all right. It's better than nothing.
I started actually unboxing my cab, putting them out together, putting all the little mechs together, making sure I didn't put the arms on backwards like someone I know. If you're listening, John, it still makes me laugh that the owner of Talon Games had to point out on your mech that your arms are on backwards. So I've been filtering through that giant box of plastic, emptying out the bags, putting all the pieces together, make sure I got all the pieces, actually. So far, so good. Terrain looks great, of course, so that thing. I finished up, I'm going to say about maybe close to almost 5 dozen points to put together of a Terran fleet that I put together on the Army Builder. So I want to try that out next time we play. I'm painting it up. I haven't really worked out a paint scheme on for the Terrans yet, but it's very hard to make a Terran force when you're used to working with another race. Because for the Rock, the magic number is 4. So 4 mechs in a squad gets all your bonuses, your racial bonuses and everything. With the Terrans, the magic number is 5. So with 5 in the squad, you don't get as much as you think you would.
Yeah, for the same points, you mean?
Yeah, so I've been playing around. With, do I drop this mech down to a lighter mech, or do I keep a heavy mech and take 2 more lighter mechs? That was all during the Kickstarter. That was back and forth with my list. So I think I'm kind of happy with it. I won't play with it around, you never know how good it is till you actually play with it. So, what else have I been working on? Oh, I finished up the last of my Monster Apocalypse dudes, I think, except for the Giant Cthulhu monster, because I don't have any minions for him yet. But I finished up the Mecha Godzilla and his little dinosaur troops. So we'll be ready to rock and roll some Protector versus Destructor Monster Apocalypse, probably when Rob shows up. For C2E2.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's been going on. We got to get going.
Yeah.
We got Cav, we got Monster Apocalypse, we got
all the stuff.
Now I'm looking. I decided to leave Pacific Rim, the game, to Rob to teach me how to play when it comes to visits.
Oh yeah, I got to learn how to play that. That's right.
So
put that on the to-do list.
That's on his ComStar. And as far as other mechs, that's all I got. I did get a Thundercracker for Christmas, but I did not start working on him yet because I didn't want to get distracted from the Cav.
The Furai Thundercracker?
Yeah, the Furai Thundercracker. So all I'm missing now is...
Did I order... I ordered that, didn't I? To your house, did I? Did you order it for me? You never did order it, did you?
No, I did. I forgot. Is that
you rat bastard. It's probably over. You bastard. I asked you twice. That's all right. Hopefully I get them at C2E2.
It's not all right.
I get them at C2E2.
All right. I'll get them for you at C2E2.
No. I'll be there then. I was going to pay you cold hard cash. I can't even remember what company had them on sale. I don't remember now.
Did you send it to me?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago now.
See, the problem is if you send it to me in a Facebook message, I tend to forget these things.
It's all good. The only reason I remembered is you just reminded me by saying that.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
You haven't bought, I guess, is it out yet, the Devastator? I don't think so. It should be out by C2E2, hopefully.
Devastator should be out by C2E2, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good. Cool. Brian, what do you got going on?
Well, surprisingly enough, I actually did do some hobbying this last month. We had in the Michigan area here, we had a Dead Zone tournament coming up, and so Rick Hall, friend of the show, and I kind of challenged each other to put together a different list than we'd had in the past, and I decided to pick up the Marauders. I think I've probably spoken about them a little bit in the past. They're basically, big brutish kind of orc guys, and one thing that I'd wanted to do with them when I got them and started putting them together was like, I want these guys to be my Xeon to my GCPS Federation. And so after some experimenting with some contrast paints, I actually painted up about 175 points worth of Marauder guys. They're in the green, kind of like an olive drab of the Xeon, like regular uniforms. I got some specialists. With some red and yellow accents to denote rank and stuff like that. And then I also, one of the new models that recently came out for the Marauders is this little mecha called a Grunt Bot. And, yeah. And I had already, if you're familiar with the show, you know that I've kind of done the Gundam mechs for that. I've got one modeled after the EZ-8. I've got one modeled after the Goof Custom. And I thought, Grunt Bots, well, in a regular game, I might be able to take 3 of them. How cool would it be if that was my Black TriStar team? And so I painted a Grunt Bot up in the color scheme of a dome, and did a fun little conversion for him. Normally they have this kind of like really goblin-looking-esque helmet that sits on the top. And I found that if I just turn it upside down, I can give it kind of that little visor like a dome has, and kind of hides the goblin teeth of the helmet. Just kind of makes it a little bit of a unique spin on the suit itself. Really kind of puts in the space in a fun way. I really like how it came out. It'd been the first time painting again in a bit. So, it was really fun to put together a whole little skirmish force. It's only about 9 guys total, I think. So it was quick work with contrast paints. I used, basically like based them with, the main colors that I was going to have on them first. And then I used the contrast on top of that just to kind of help accent, things. So overall, I'm really happy with how they turned out. They look really sweet. And I could see myself throwing together a couple more, to flesh out my Xeon roster, as it were. Yeah.
Xeon. I can't wait to see them.
Well, they're on the Mobile Armor Radio page. I shared it onto that the Facebook page.
In real life.
Yeah.
Well, you'll never see them in real life. You're not allowed to see them in real life.
I could see about probably going to be bringing them to Adepticon, if only just to show them off for fun. Haven't decided yet if that's going to be my roster. Got to make sure that the Rebs are represented in the Dead Zone tournament there. But if they got a good showing, I might play this new force I put together.
Put it in the Brush with Death.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's all Mantic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 100%. Well, if I leave out the Strider, because it's got like bits and bobs from an SD Gundam kit.
I think you're allowed a percentage, aren't you, Pat?
No.
Has to be 100%?
Yes, for the Brush of Death.
Even if it's not, it's just a model kit? Come on.
I mean, it could be scratch built pieces.
He could say they're scratch built. You built them from scratch, didn't you, Brian?
As I put to the record, like I said before, I clipped them off of an SD goof custom kit.
You're just too honest.
I'll be honest about it. But maybe it's something where if I still got time. No, that's a lie. I don't have time before Adepticon here.
No, it's coming up quick.
Everything's coming up quick.
But I'll see if I got something to throw together for Brush with Death. Probably nothing too crazy, but
even if you just put in your stunt bot there, or grunt bot, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Does it have a number of force, or is it just like put together a squad?
Sci-fi single, sci-fi unit, sci-fi vehicle.
There you go.
Okay.
Single.
Yeah, I could do it as a single or the unit there. I might do the unit without the goof.
There you go. It's probably 150 points or something.
It's pretty darn close to 150 points, so just say that. Yeah, that could be fun.
Call it a day.
Call it a day.
Just so you could show them off.
Just to show them off.
And, yeah.
Cool, well, I'm actually going to be in a penning tournament. That'll be interesting.
And you just have to get all the people who like Gundams in there to vote for you.
Yeah. So, fans of the show, Mobile Armor Radio,
I don't think it's...
find yourself at Adepticon.
It's not a public vote, though, is it, Pat? Isn't it just you guys vote for it?
Not us guys. There is a professional judge.
Find the professional judge and bribe him. I mean, tell him how cool Gundam is.
You don't know who the professional judge is yet, do you, Pat? Is that why? You're not giving a name?
Exactly.
If he does, he's not telling us. But yeah, so the next Dead Zone team I'm actually planning to work on is a force called Maison Labs, and I've always planned to do them in the paint scheme of the Titans from Zeta Gundam. So that'll be another fun one to put together. I will say, like, one thing that's been fun hearing Pat talk about painting schemes and stuff. One thing that's been fun with painting these, basically the wargaming models with a color scheme from a cartoon show is that it makes you experiment with some really out there color combinations. like the greens and reds and yellows, like off the top of your head, I was having trouble envisioning what that would look like until we kind of mocked together a sample one, and it really turned out really well. And even the dome is black, purple, and red with some yellow on it. Like it's a weird combination of colors, in part to sell toys, but it really works, and they still feel kind of uniform amongst themselves. So
that's good.
Yeah. So if you're ever struggling for a color scheme, I'd say look at children's cartoon shows and see what's out there. Do something crazy. But that's enough from me. Rob, what have you been hobbying about?
I don't think I mentioned it, but for Christmas, my buddy Jack got me a MG Death Scythe Hell, and that was fun to put together. He's huge. His wingspan takes up my whole shelf. Like, he's gigantic. Wow. And I really liked him. And it was the MG kit. I think it's only my third MG kit I've made, so it was fun. And he's big, and I like him. So that was fun. And my buddy is like, oh, it's gonna take you months to do this. I did it in like a weekend. I had to put him together because he was fun. We also got, I got my Cav Kickstarter in, so I assembled all of that. I haven't painted anything yet.
You put the whole thing together already?
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of models, man.
It was a lot of models. I glued myself to myself quite often. I was like caked in glue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty extensive building, and all the terrain. Like, we got so much stuff. It was a crazy amount of plastic.
It was a good Kickstarter.
And it was in like a smallish box. I was like, oh, it's not that big, but he shoved everything in that box so tight. And it's all Bones Black material, so it's a little bit stiffer than the regular Bones, which is nice. I like it. Also, my other buddy, Patrick here, he bought me Monster Apocalypse, the Protectors, I think they're called. Or Guard. I think they're called the Guard Protect. And,
it's the Protector
faction. Yeah. And it's the Guard is the types, and it's the giant robot with his tanks. And I primed him. I put him together and primed him. And I'm excited. I have a paint scheme I'm going to do for him, but I haven't got there yet. So I've done that, which was cool. And I can't wait to play that with Patrick. And I'm going to C2E2. If anybody's going to C2E2, Pat and I are going to be in the Mantic booth. Come say hi.
Yeah. Come by. Come meet us in the Bandai booth.
Yeah. We'll be trying to buy stuff in Bandai, I'm sure. We also got, from Kid Logic, we got the Monster and the Destroids. The Monster is awesome. The guns were a little fiddly to glue in because they're very long, so I had to like tape them to hold them into place while I glued them. But I love that thing. It's huge because it's all to scale for Robotech, so it's gigantic. One of my Destroids came with 2 right arms, I think, and I contacted them, and the lady there got right back to me and sent me another one in the mail, so my Destroid is now both armed. So great kits and good customer service, so that's good.
That's always good to hear.
And our next set's just been shipped. I just got a shipping notification today, so we'll be getting those. They got them out just before Chinese New Year, so that's great.
Oh, good.
And I don't even remember what's in that one. Oh, it's the I think it's the Glog and a few other of the Zentradi, so that's kind of fun. And I think that might be it. There's a lot of kits going on, but I haven't actually painted anything. That's the only problem. I've got everything, a lot of assembly done, but not much painting. I still have a stunt bot on my desk that's been there for, I don't know, months. I have a grunt bot on my desk that's been there for months. So I actually got to get back into painting. I was painting my Hellboy Kickstarter. That was the problem. I still have a lot of that to paint, so. Yeah, that's about it for my kits and my stuff. I don't get Gundam loot anymore, so I don't have my monthly Gundam loot. Because my shelf got filled, and now I have a Death Scythe that fills up way more than everybody's kind of shoved together now. It doesn't look pretty anymore. I have to, rearrange it all. But, too many Gundams. I think that's about it. If that's for Dropship, we'll go into ComStar. Once again, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about because we had a lot of holidays that we probably watched a lot of stuff. And we'll be right back.
Message from ComStar.
Good old Skype.
Good old Skype working perfectly today. Speaking of Skype, we're into ComStar. And this is where we talk TV, movies, books, comics, RPGs, video games, anything else. Tabletop games, I guess. Brian, have you been watching anything or reading anything or?
Well, unfortunately, like with the extra hobby stuff that I was doing, I actually didn't get around to watching or I'm working through one of the Witcher books right now, so that's kind of its own thing.
Not many mechs in Witcher.
Not enough mechs in Witcher.
It's the one thing you could say about Witcher. It's not enough mechs.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see if they do decide to tie it into that Cyberpunk 2077
That's
or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I have still slowly been making my way through Gridman. Still really enjoying that show, and it's just kind of moving along. I was really busy this last month as well. On top of the holidays and whatnot, wound up doing a whole lot of running around, traveling and stuff. So didn't have as much time to just kind of sit down and watch something, or played a couple other games, but that's because I'm a sucker for Legend of Zelda.
No mechs in that either. What the hell?
No mechs in not in this one. But you know what? Breath of the Wild there is like the best Mega Man Legends 3 game I think we're ever going to get. Because there is a lot of sci-fi going on in that game. I'm just throwing that out there. But they got like spider robots and everything. It's great. And but yeah, so mostly been just kind of catching up on videos, and now that things are starting to settle down and strangely enough pick back up again because I've got a move coming up, so need to start packing away some of the movies and the figurines and stuff like that, getting ready for that move. So not a whole lot going on my end, Mecha related right now. But how about you, Pat?
Me? Not too much movies or TV as much as reading the book. I finished up the first book of that Ashley Pollard series.
Oh, yeah?
Bad Dog, and now I started the second book, which I can't remember the title, and it's in my bedroom. It picks up after the first book, after she got out of that little time loop. And now she is leading another squad again, but she's kind of got that, what the hell did you do, or what happened to you? Are you still the same kind of person? Can we trust you kind of thing going on with the rest of the military? So the first book was really good, and I enjoyed it. So I would put that on the recommendation list for anyone that wants to read a mech book that's not Robotech or Robotech. Battletech, I meant. It was a nice breath of fresh air, I would say, I think it was worth the read.
Cool.
And the second one is starting out just as good. And so, looks like her trilogy, I think, might be a win. So far, again, geez, I should have wrote this person's name down. Thanks for mentioning Ashley Pollard in our Facebook links on things to read outside of other things. So I find it quite enjoyable. I did watch a couple things of Obsolete on YouTube while I'm at work, and I forget where I'm at now. I think I'm maybe on 3 or 4. It's a very good story.
I think the person who mentions Ashley Pollard was Mike Utes.
Yes, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. If you're listening, thank you very much. I enjoyed the books, or I am enjoying the books.
Yes, as for Obsolete, it's six episode. It was behind a paywall, but now they're all free, and that's good. The link to the playlist in the show notes, and everybody should check it out. There's not really a story. It's more just like vignettes in this world. They go through different time periods and how these new mech things got introduced, and it's really interesting.
I think there's kind of a story. There's like
But it's not
like
actually a story. Like, it just, there's no narrative. There's no heroes, there's no plot.
Yeah, well, there kind of isn't there. That one sergeant guy, isn't he the hero?
Not really. No, it's kind of, yeah. You haven't watched it all yet, have you?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
All right.
It's kind of like it just goes to different people a lot, and then it kind of like introduces the world. Like, hopefully there's going to be a season 2, and hopefully that has more of a, like, now it's introduced, and you kind of get the bad guys and good guys, and we don't know which is which, and like, hopefully the next season, if they do another one, I think they're about 10 minutes long? They're not very long. They're pretty quick. Yeah,
they're very easy to watch. That's why I watch them at work.
And they're on the actual Bandai North America channel, I think. And it's good. They're making kits for it, so there's going to be obsolete kits, which is cool. Nice. And because the whole point is it's based on this alien technology that's just like a frame almost, and they keep slapping stuff on it. All the different races or all the different factions put different things to make it their own. Like, the Americans are very high-tech ones, whereas the Africans are more like just throwing some stuff on. And then there's the mercenaries who have their own version. And so each one could be a different kit, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when the kits release, but it was a good commercial for those kits, at very least. And it was, it was behind the paywall at first. I think it was YouTube Red, but now it's all free, so check it out.
Sweet.
All right. Well, you can finish up, Rob, because that's all I had was Obsolete.
Oh, you just have that? Yep.
Yeah.
I watched Obsolete. That was the one thing I was going to mention. But I also started watching Genesis Climber Mospeada, the original, not the Robotech version. And it's all dubbed, which is fun. No, it's all subbed, which is fun. It's subtitled. And I wish it was dubbed, because I hate reading. But it's very unique. It is different from the Robotech one. And I don't remember the Robotech one 100%, but there's a lot of things I'm like, whoa, I don't remember this being in there. And I think generally it seems to be a pretty good story, and it's fun. I don't know, about a third of the way through now.
Yeah, I enjoy just Climber Mospeada.
Yeah, it's fun story. Great. Like, I can't believe it isn't in the Robotech universe. They have Veritex in it, like, they look just the exact same, like.
I know.
Right, so I can understand.
It's one of those things. I just nod my head and go, okay, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's just, whoever made this show obviously was inspired by Macross. That's all it comes down to. Because they look just like the Valkyries, from there.
Exactly.
Like, exactly like them, yeah. And then they add the Cyclones in, which are cool. I can't remember what they're called in the show. They're not Cyclones, they're called something else.
They're Mospeada climbers.
Yeah, I guess they're Mospeadas, yeah. And all the characters have different names, which I had to get used to. And
oh yeah, their names are weird.
Yeah, well, they're like the Japanese American names. When they think of names for Americans, they always have like Caucasians. They always have funny names.
Yeah,
like the main hero's name is Stig.
Sticks, right? Stig.
Stig, yeah.
Because he's Stick in Robotech.
And yeah, they're all like just slightly different, but yeah, it's great so far. And it's on Amazon Prime, so anybody has Prime, go watch it. So,
nice.
So it's free if you have Prime. That was about it. I think I don't have any other stuff. I'm still reading Robotech Remix. It's alright. What else? Playing, I do have MechWarrior 5. I've been playing on and off. First person games are not my favorite. I like Battletech so much more. I'm more of a turn-based guy. But it's fun. But it also really pushes my computer to its limits. It's, I have to have it on like the lowest graphics and stuff. It's not really optimized for my computer. But it's fun. It's a fun game. And I'm actually reading they had I think an 8-part, prequel short stories that came out on their website right before it released. And I'm reading through those, and it pretty much tells the story of the founding of your mech company, kind of. And they're pretty well written. And it's a weird time period. I don't know why these games all take place in weird time periods, but this one takes place in like 15 or something like that. Really early in the timeline. And it's really odd. Nobody wants to touch the clans. They all must be like, Pat. They hate the clans.
It's because they were brought out in such the wrong way. And I'll argue this till I'm blue in the face, and no one will ever convince me. And I really do think it's what ruined Battletech way back in the day.
It ruined Battletech.
For me, at least. I mean, I'm not going to lie, because I quit playing because everyone wanted to be a clan. Everyone be a clan, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have to generate any heat, so I can shoot all my weapons 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were on the forefront of being a grognard.
Hey, I like the inner sphere. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that I couldn't be at a disadvantage. But for God's sakes, there's disadvantage in just straight out.
I think it's who you played. I think it's really that ruins many games is who you play.
Yeah,
in a sense, yes, but the no heat thing was really rough. Was really hard to get over.
It's not no heat.
Well, come on. If you're not generating any heat,
they do generate heat.
But if you can't hold on to it, or if you dissipate all your heat every turn,
well, they don't. It's not everything, but
it might as well be.
Anyways, point is, Pat is still bitter 40 years later. But yeah. So that was a good story. What is that noise?
That's probably my fan kicking in again.
That was quite loud.
Sounds like you got a baby in a blender.
Anyways, that's ComStar. I think there's not much else going on. I don't think. Please.
There's they just announced the giant moving Gundam that they're going to be building in Japan.
Yes, and in December I will be unleashing my moving Xeon to battle it.
Yeah, people are saying I hope it's not just on rollers. It actually walks, but I have a feeling it's just on rollers.
Yeah, it's not going to walk.
No.
If it walks, then we've moved into biomechanics in robots way faster than that.
They make small robots walk. I don't see. There's no reason they couldn't make something like that walk, other than cost.
Yeah,
because they make the little robots do it. Yeah. I think that Elon Musk has to buy Boston Dynamics and create, the next generation of Gundams. That's just the answer to all of our hopes and dreams. Other than that, yeah, that's ComStar. I think that there's not much going on in that way for things, but luckily the MechBay Hanger might help us fill in some ComStar, so we'll be back for that.
That's true.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
Okay, welcome to the MechBay Hanger. We're going to discuss some stuff. I have never any idea what to discuss, so I always make polls on Facebook and on Discord. And the poll this time is, what mecha shows should we be watching? And we got tons of responses. A lot of people are saying it'd be hard to stump Brian, and I have to agree. And I think this list could prove that Brian's seen most of them. But it was so long, I split it into two. We'll do the other one another time, but I'm going to focus this time on just like Western versions of stuff, not the Japanese, because the Japanese list was quite long, and there's a lot of things I'd never heard of, and it was pretty cool. But we'll get back to that another time. So right now
we'll pick those up on DVDs or Blu-ray at Mitsuya.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, in Chicago there's a great store that you can get everything you'd ever want. It's Brian's Mecha. But yeah, we'll talk about some of these American shows that may interest us Mecha fans, or mech fans, or big giant stompy robot fans. The first one someone mentioned is Big Guy and Rusty, the boy robot. It's a little bit out of our purview, but I think it's close.
I actually remember watching this when it was on TV.
This is an old cartoon, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
It's one of those, it's not too old, but I guess...
It was 20 years ago, Brian.
Time marches on.
Yeah, it was on Fox Kids.
Yep.
1999 to 2001.
I don't think Fox Kids exists anymore.
No, Fox Kids dissolved many years ago now. It was out around the same time as that revamped Godzilla cartoon.
Oh yeah, when it was like a friend, like a little kid, and he was.
Well, no, when it was like the Matthew Broderick Godzilla cartoon show, where they had him help them fight monsters. It was a silly show. But anyway, Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot is like a weird cross between, it is very, like, American. You basically have the giant, big guy who's a bit more robot. And then Rusty is more kind of like an Astro, kind of Mega Man, type character. He's got, personality of a kid, rocket boots, stuff like that. But it was a fun time.
And
Rusty's a robot on top of himself, right?
Yeah, Rusty's also a robot. He's a boy
Rusty's
robot.
Also...
It's in the name of the show. It's Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot.
Uh-huh.
It's
all I saw was the Big Guy and Rusty.
Yeah. It was actually based on a comic book by Frank Miller, if you could believe that, which is hilarious. Really? Yeah. Known for his ultra-violent Batman runs and stuff. He also invented this. But, I'd never seen it. I think it was in that time between I was too old to be watching shows, but I didn't start watching cartoons again kind of thing. So sure. I've never seen it. Season 1 was 1999, season 2 was 2001, so it's right away. Yeah, I was just moving back from Toronto.
2001 was a dark day in my life. It was a dark couple of years.
Yeah, me too, actually.
There was a lot, not a lot of nerd stuff going on in my life at that point.
Yeah.
So we could check this out sometime. It's interesting.
It's a fun time. I don't know how well it's aged.
Yeah, that's the question of any of these old shows.
Bandai put some toys out for this, huh?
There is a toy line, yeah. There was a toy line.
Interesting.
They also had promotional time with Burger King, so there you go.
Oh, Jesus, this is a Dark Horse Entertainment.
Oh, is it? Because the original comic book was Dark Horse, that's right.
Oh.
There you go. Maybe Mantic can pick up the Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot license. Spoilers. So I never saw it, but Brian, you give it your thumbs up if it's still as good as you remember it.
Yes.
All right. Brian gives a thumbs up.
Many years ago.
So
I might watch a little bit just because it's Dark Horse.
I almost guarantee it's on YouTube. If you look it up, I bet every single episode's on YouTube.
Oh, not one doubt. Not one doubt.
And if anybody taking stock at home, we'll put it, Brian has seen this, so mark it in the Brian column.
I'm looking at the voices. Arlie Emmy is one of the voices.
Yeah, it's cool. And Emmett Walsh too, like all these old actors. Yeah, it's funny. I take it Big Guy never talked because he doesn't have a voice actor.
I think he did.
Did he talk?
Yeah, Rusty was voiced by a girl.
Yeah, a lot of the young kid voices, like Bart Simpson and stuff, it's always women.
I think it was one of the girls that was on like Recess back in the day.
Oh, she voices Bobby Hill on King of the Hill.
Yeah, that's where it's like I recognize that voice.
That's
more
funny.
Recently. Yeah, it's Bobby Hill.
That's hilarious. I never knew that.
And it was the same kind of like voice too. It's like, hey, Big Guy. That was terrible.
Tom Hanks' older brother is a voice on this thing too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Big Guy's Jonathan David Cook. I don't know who that is, but
I could have sworn he talked.
That's funny.
Big deep voice.
Huh. All right.
Arlie Emery is obviously a general, so there you go.
Yeah.
So that's the first one, yeah.
I'm sure it was a very PG general. There.
Yes, yeah, not like his normal, like, I'd like to see someone take clips from Full Metal Jacket and put it into that show. Him yelling at the boy robot. Next one that I think at least some of us have watched is Genlock. I love Genlock. There's a Genlock, I actually mentioned this, there's a Genlock comic I'm reading right now too, I love.
Yeah, Genlock was a good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it got a release on regular TV now, too, so that's fun.
I still haven't seen it.
Adult Swim has it now, so there you go.
It is on my list.
Brian?
It's the series that we watched already, or did they start a whole new...
No, it's a series watch already. It's only been season 1. I think season 2 is in development still.
All right. Season 1 is on Adult Swim now.
It looks like that, yeah. Adult Swim and HBO Max. Oh, season 2 is going to be on HBO Max. Yeah. So it was, originally, I think we watched it on YouTube, didn't we? I think it was part of Rooster Teeth's.
Well, it's Rooster Teeth.
It was on Rooster Teeth.
Something like that?
Yeah, it was on their own website, yeah. It's really fun. It's all computer animated, I'm pretty sure. And it's in the future where, these people get pretty much they download their consciousnesses into giant robots to fight this nameless kind of group. Like the bad guys, it's another army, but you don't really find out much about this other army, which is interesting. And, it's really fun. It's like military at first, especially. It's very military, and then it's a great show. And it's, the main character is, Michael B. Jordan, is Julian Chase.
Oh, nice.
Dakota Fanning is in it. Maisie Williams. Mm-hmm. Like, it's all these famous actors who are, voicing. David Tennant was the doctor.
Yeah, David Tennant was the one that surprised me the most.
Yeah, he was the doctor, which is hilarious. Yeah.
Rob.
It was. But so a lot of great character, a lot of really good acting. I think Maisie Williams actually up for an anime, like, I don't know what their Oscars are called, for voice acting for her role in this. So she was really fun in it. So there you go. Anybody who hasn't seen Genlock, it is available on TV. I'm sure you can get it on streaming somewhere. Like I guarantee it might even be on the Rooster Teeth site still. So
I feel like it was on Crunchyroll for a time, but I might be mistaken on that.
Yeah, it's around anyways. But yeah, check out Genlock. And there was that comic book by DC, and it kind of takes place after season 1. So hopefully it's actually in continuity, and they kind of work it into the show, because they go to Japan in that, and it's some really cool stuff happening in the comic book, expanding the world a bit. And it is a pretty deep world too, which is, I think I like a lot about that. So finally, it's 1 for me and Pat, and 0 for Brian on this one. We're tied.
Yep. Everyone's got 1.
That's true.
Next one somebody suggested is Robot Wars, not the TV show, the movie. Not Robot Jocks, which I enjoy quite a bit. This is Robot Wars, the sort of sequel. Anybody remember Robot Wars? I sort of remember it.
I do.
I don't think I watched all of it.
It's up my wheelhouse as being terribly horrible.
Yeah, it's in
my wheelhouse of being horribly good.
Yeah. Full Moon Entertainment back in the 80s, especially in early 90s, I guess, was like the B movie, straight to video movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, they had some great stuff, and this is one of them. And it's pretty much, giant robots fighting each other. There's like a scorpion robot, I remember.
Well, it's the Western Bloc versus the Eastern Alliance, basically.
Yeah.
If I remember right. Which is kind of like America versus the advanced Nazis / Russians.
Mixing this one up with Robot Jocks. Is this where they like solve the world's problems by fighting robots, or is that Robot Jocks?
That's Robot Jocks.
Okay.
This is kind of
This is the war.
This is kind of a war, yeah. You know, they make defense robots, trying to, kind of protect their assets and everything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I will say my buddy Rick has seen this.
It's 1993, so it's one of those things you got to go back and check it out. Once again, I'm sure this is streaming somewhere. I should actually check. There's an app which has free movies for legit free movies called Tubi, and they have a lot of B movies that they just put up there, and they have. I think they run commercials during them, but there's some great. Me and my buddy Jack, we watched one afternoon. We watched tons of these kind of movies, and there was one that's supposed to have big giant robots in it. It was hilarious because it just showed the same clip over and over again because that's all they had the budget for. And it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It looked like a student film, but they're all like old people in it. And this might be on there because they have a lot of the Full Moon stuff, so I have to check that out, see if we could find it. And that's the best thing about those kind of apps is you find old movies that nobody's going to put this on Amazon or any of the big. It's not on Netflix, I'm sure. So you got to find it on some of the smaller ones. But yes, Robot Wars. So this is I think I have seen it, but I don't really remember it. So I'll give myself half a point.
The Scorpion was the bad robot.
Obviously, scorpions are bad.
They found a functioning regular back from the war.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to check that out. And Pat, you're in the lead. You're at 2 points. I'm pretty proud of you.
Yep.
It all drops from here.
Next is the Starship Troopers anime, computer generated once again. Was it a TV show or just a set of movies? It was. I kind of remember it as a TV show.
There was so I think there was a CG TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't recall if that's different than the anime Starship Troopers that was made. 'Cause I don't think I've ever seen an anime one. But this is the same studio that did the Appleseed movie.
Oh,
those sets. I think did this set. There's 2 of these movies out now.
I think the live action ones took place first, I guess, and then they went to anime.
Well, but the TV, I know the TV show, I don't know about these, I don't think I've seen these movies, but I know the TV show took it much more off to the book. Like, they had the actual mechs in it, and there's
a TV show?
Yeah, there's a computer-generated TV show, too.
I did not see that one.
And,
it was a bit more kid-friendly.
Yeah, but they had actual mechs in it, unlike the movies.
A lot less nudity.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
A lot less swearing and
mutilation.
The movie.
Yeah.
The movie is terribly good, too, or horribly good, too.
Oh, it's a great satire movie. The first one, especially.
So have either of you seen this Invasion, the fourth one?
I haven't seen any of the anime versions of Starship Trooper. Now, my question is, because I'm pretty sure you've seen them, Brian.
Yes.
Do they follow the book or do they follow the movie?
So they continue the movies.
Okay.
Okay. So the bugs are all sputters.
Yep. They're all the same type of bug. Johnny Rico becomes a general. I don't know. Have you guys seen the other 2 the live action Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't there more than 2?
Well, there's the first one, and then there's the second one.
I thought there was another one. Isn't there a newer one?
The third one's called Marauder, which is starring Casper Van Dien again.
Yes.
And so
okay.
Invasion here is the 4th movie in the set.
Oh, it actually takes place in the exact same world as that. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. And then there's a 5th one called Traitor of Mars.
I saw the Traitor of Mars.
Traitor of Mars is fun because Casper Van Dien, he just comes back for every odd numbered movie. He comes back to voice Johnny Rico again. In these CG ones, he takes a weird turn where he kind of becomes Big Boss. And so his mecha is more like a Metal Gear than anything else.
Oh, jeez.
They're fun movies. I do rank them, of the Starship Troopers movies, I think it goes like 1, 4, 3, and 5 are kind of fighting each other, in my opinion, because they're both that really dumb, schlocky kind of thing. They're very cheesy. Like the third Starship Troopers is the one where they have a theme song called "It's a Good Day to Die," and catchy as all get out. But the 5th movie kind of picks up and plays on that too. But yeah, if you just want a fun little CG anime, very tropey kind of story about troopers, climbing into spaceships and fighting bugs, it was a fun time. We actually, a couple of friends and I made not this last New Year's, but the last 2 New Year's before that. We'd watch those movies with the big explosion, because there's always a big explosion time for New Year's. So I recommend them. They're fun.
Okay. Maybe we'll check them out then.
I'll just say that Dizzy comes back in Traitor of Mars.
I did see parts of Traitor of Mars one evening somewhere.
Yeah.
The other TV show from them is about Starship Troopers called Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers
right.
Chronicles. And that was, the more kid-friendly one. They had quite a few episodes. I don't know how many. There's 36 episodes, yeah. It's all available on Crackle, supposedly. If Crackle's still a thing anymore, is it still around?
It's still around.
Yeah, so Crackle has all the episodes. I think I have them all on DVD somewhere.
I'm trying to remember that animation studio. Is that the same one that did like Beast Planet and Reboot and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was a Canadian team.
Yeah, it was. It was because it was shown on Teletoon here in Canada. And I think it was because it was like the early CGI.
Oh yeah. Good stuff.
And it was, this one, it was the first to have like all the mechs and stuff, because this was 1999, 2000, so this is like really early, but it was more based on, it was still like, it still had a lot of things from the movies, but it also took a lot of things from the books, where they had the mechs, and which never came out into the movies until, I think until the anime. I don't think they were ever in the live action, were they?
Yeah.
No.
Even like the phrase on the bounce.
They didn't even have their power suits in the movie.
Yeah, the power suits come into play in these CG movies.
Yeah, so I think
which is the sticking point of the Starship Troopers movies.
Yeah,
for me is them not having the power suits.
Yeah, that was kind of a major part of the.
That's the whole point of being the mobile infantry.
Yeah, that's where on the bounce comes from, because they're jumping around.
Yeah,
like tribes.
And this one, I remember it had like a bigger mech and then plus the power suits. And it was a really fun show like you say, for a kid's version. So check that out. Once again, you can get this for free on Crackle, it seems. So go check out, Roughnecks too. So Starship Troopers is fun. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. The first movie is a true satire. It's Paul Verhoeven satirizing fascism. And, people thought it was a fascist movie, and that's hilarious because it's so obviously a satire.
They still kind of do, and
no one understands satire anymore.
Yeah, like
we shouldn't aspire to the Federation in that.
Yeah, like franchise. That's the thing. Yeah, the whole point was everybody was blue-eyed, blonde-haired. Like there was only certain people were left alive. Like the main characters are from Brazil. Do they look like they're from Brazil?
Buenos Aires.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, come on, people. So so check out the Starship Troopers, read the book, and it's fun time, Starship Troopers. Mm-hmm. The next one's a classic for me, is because back in the day, this was a short-lived show, but it was great. Exosquad. They actually had some of the license from Robotech for their toys, so they had a lot of the Exosquad toys that actually look like Destroids or Glogs and stuff. But this was, me and my friends, we were all into role-playing games. We've created a role-playing game with Powered Armored, and literally, like, the next week, this show came on TV, and we're like, come on, we just invented this, and it shows on TV. So, it's all about Powered Armor squads fighting, this ex-slave race on Mars. And it's a fun 2 seasons, 52 episodes. It was also, like, for a kid show, it was, pretty violent, and it was also a one long story, which is unusual back in, what year was this? 1993. So
93, yeah. I barely remember it. I watched a couple episodes. That's about it.
Yeah, I think I maybe saw 1 or 2 episodes. I do not remember it very well.
I'm sure it doesn't hold up. I'm sure if I watch it now, it'd be like watching the Battletech TV cartoon. It'd be like,
The one that stands out to me is the blue guy. I forget what his name was.
The actual bad guys were the Martians. Yeah,
well, there was a blue guy on the.
Oh, I think he was a Martian that joined them, yeah. He was one of them. Yeah.
John.
But, yeah. Exosquad was for the time, it was like kind of mind-blowing, because if you weren't used to watching anime, this was like an American version of anime before things like, Avatar and things like that.
Yeah.
And, it was, in syndication too, which is, so you could watch it on Saturday morning. It was people getting shot in the face and stuff. It was, from what I remember, I'm sure it's not as good as I remember, but, Exosquad.
Did they call the Martians Neo-Sapiens?
What did they call the Martians?
Neo-Sapiens.
Did they call them that? I know they were just it was, Neo-Sapien, yeah, that's right.
They're from Venus though, aren't they?
No, I think it was pretty much Mars, wasn't it? Because there was, Olympus Mons was their base, wasn't it? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Venus and Mars. You're right. It's Venus and Mars, so it's both.
Yeah.
Because I remember Olympus Mons was the main bad guys. Phaeton was the bad guy. And, So I don't know where you could find.
Are we all tied?
Once again,
we're all tied again.
If you can find this on YouTube, check it out, and I'm sure it's not as good as I remember. This last one, I don't know if any of us have seen this.
Not yet. It's on the list.
Yeah, Cannon Busters. It's once again based on a comic book. It's on Netflix. Never even heard of this, but it seems to be popular.
It only came out just recently, I think. By recently, like probably in the last half year, but
yeah, August 2019 is when it came out. 12 episodes, half an hour each, based on a comic book it's Devil's Due, so it's like a pretty independent. The comic book came out in 2005.
So Devil's Due's the name of the comic book?
No, Devil's Due was the company that made it. Devil's Due came out of Image back in the day. It's one of those spin-offs. The comic book was called Cannon Busters also. I don't know much about it, and if you guys have not seen it, this is definitely something we have to watch.
I think the animation team behind it also worked on the more recent Macross series. Yeah, they're a production in cooperation with Studio Inoue on those two, on Macross Frontier, Zero, and Delta. Nice. Good for them.
It was also Kickstarter Day, this animation. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Because it's just an OVA series, so I think, right? No.
Yeah, it's 12 episodes, but...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think it's OVA.
Well, OVA is usually shorter, right?
Yeah, those are usually shorter ones.
3 episodes or whatever, but so we have to check this out. I never even knew about it, so yeah. Do either of you know anything about the storyline?
I don't, and then there's nothing online here that
No.
gives me a...
Just from the look of it, it reminds me of Trigun. Just from the art style and the...
I feel like I watched a trailer for it, and that was the vibe I was getting too.
Yeah, little irrelevant.
Like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
On Western.
Yeah, I'm getting a Cowboy Bebop feel when I look at the pictures.
A little bit more irreverent. And, that pretty much covers the North American sort of ones. We did have an anime in there, but, Starship Troopers is a North American brand, so. But, there's a lot to think about there, people. We have
some good suggestions.
Yeah, it was, I'm glad I like it when we get the users, or the listeners, users. What are we?
Users.
I think we're reboot right here. I'm reboot on my mind.
Beetroot.
Yeah, it's nice when the listeners tell us what to do and we don't have to think about things. But no, there's so much stuff out there, but you can't know it all unless you're Brian. And, and it's good to get suggestions, because otherwise you just end up watching the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can only watch Gundam so many times, or Robotech, so I'm enjoying these suggestions.
Yes, because I am definitely Gundam out for a while.
Yeah, I'm about...
Unless it's a model.
I've been watching the Zeta movies, and I watched the first 2, so I'm on the 3rd Zeta movie, and I haven't watched the 3rd one yet, because I'm a little like, okay, I've seen a lot of Gundam now. So, that's why I jumped onto Mospeada. But next time it's my turn maybe. If I can't think of anything better, we'll talk about the Japanese ones, that there's a lot longer Japanese list, and I don't know any of them. So, that might be a lot more interesting, for discovery, because most of these I heard of at least. The only one I haven't heard of was the Cannon Busters. The rest I knew of a little bit, so. Fun times. Anything else to add, boys?
No.
Nothing I can think of.
We're all set.
Welcome
to 2020.
We'll get to the ExFil and we'll, say our goodbyes.
Let's ExFil out of here.
The distant future. The year 2000.
It is Cyberpunk, although Cyberpunk got delayed, so.
You will be assimilated.
They did swear in the first guide to the Space Force.
With his camouflage outfit?
Yep. That'll be really useful.
Well, when you're in the jungles of Venus, you'll need to camouflage. If you've ever seen Mutant Chronicles, you know,
Does it even matter what the spacesuits look like if you're in space?
In space, no one can see you because you got camo.
Well, why bother having camo?
Or why bother not, or why not have camo then? That's my thing. People make so much fun about the camo. It doesn't make a difference. They could be purple. You go into space. Just as long as the suit works, who cares what the fuck it looks like?
But it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
The Navy doesn't even wear camo. Air Force doesn't wear camo.
Air Force wears camo.
Only if they're on the ground, I guess. Their pilots don't.
The planes are camouflaged from the top.
Sometimes.
So.
Let's get out of here. Stop talking about Space Force. Anyways, this is the ExFil, and we're talking about Space Force.
Space Force!
Please do join us on Facebook. That's our main outlet. And if you don't like Facebook, we do have Discord. Not a lot happens on Discord compared to Facebook. There's a lot more discussion on Facebook.
Just not there on Discord enough myself.
Yeah, and we don't post that much. I try to, but it does get left to the side. But hey, if you want to start a conversation, I'm sure if anybody wants to talk, they can go in there because it's more of a chat room. And, you can also email us if you really want to about anything. You can email complaints to Pat at, Mobile Armor Radio at gmail.com is our email. Twitter.
You can come see us at the Mantic booth at C2E2 in Chicago at the end of February.
Yep, and also Adepticon. I won't be there, but Brian and Pat will be there in March, end of March.
Yep.
And we'll probably all be at Gen Con this year, I would assume. You're going to go this year, Brian?
Brian is not.
No, you can't make it.
Sadly, I cannot make it.
He's dead to me. He's got to get married or something.
No, come on, Brian. Priorities, man.
Yeah.
Is this how your marriage is going to affect your nerd life now? Is this what we look forward to?
We'll find a good balance, but it's like happening the month after I got married.
Yeah.
This is what we have to look forward to now.
I have a feeling you're going to be tapped
guys,
out.
The wife won't let me do bar anymore.
I don't know. She seems cooler than Brian, though. So. Anyways, enough razzing the poor guy. We will be back next month for more excitement. I don't know whose turn it is, but it's someone's turn. Brian, start thinking of something to talk about.
Sure. Okay.
And, until then, this has been Mobile Armor Radio. I've been Rob.
I've been Brian.
And I've been Jobber.
Thank you, and good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at @MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.